Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Elevate. Are you guys ready to see the new studio? My name is Jessica.
My name is Darwin.
Welcome back.
Yeah, look that way.
Sorry, I am not used to these cameras.
So what's up?
Oh my God. So here we are in our very new space. This is a huge accomplishment for us. So I hope that for whoever's listening, if whenever you get a chance, you hop onto YouTube and you see what our set looks like, so you can at least imagine us talking when you're listening to us on your headset or whatever it is you're listening
just
to
now
us.
tuning into this episode and it's been a few months or years. Just go back into what is it, September 9th? Today's the 9th
Yes.
of 2022, and you'll see the grand reveal.
Well, they won't see it today, but
Yeah.
you're going to see it very soon.
And it's still a work in progress. As you guys know, we just got it, a week ago? About a week ago.
We got the studio a week ago?
2 weeks?
About 2 weeks ago.
About 2 weeks ago. But we've been grinding it out. So this process is probably going to continue. We're missing a few things, but
Few details, but I'm pretty happy with what we have going on.
let us know what you think, 'cause this is going to be the reveal. And then we'll do a studio tour after.
Yes, after everything is actually complete, because right now it's like this area is kind of ready. We kind of rushed and we were on this area of the studio because we wanted to record the podcast here as soon as possible, but the rest of the studio has a lot of work to be done yet, but there's not, I mean, the biggest part and the most important part of the studio is pretty much finished with the exceptions of like very small touches that we will be making. But
If you have any suggestions, let us know.
So let us know in the comments down below. Do you like it? How does this feel cozy? Does it feel cozy like it did when we were in our living room? Let us know your opinions down in the comments below. We really would like to hear them.
Was it something you was expecting? Like, is this kind of like the look you thought it was going to go, or more traditional, just like a table? And
Right. Okay, so moving on from this first introductory of our new studio. So today's topic is going to be why or how is the internet dividing us instead of unifying us? So do you feel that the internet is, how do you feel about the internet? Do you feel like it unifies you with people, or do you feel like when you go into the internet, it's chaotic in there? How do you feel about it? Because I know everybody has a different perspective.
I feel like it's chaotic. I don't feel like, at least certain platforms. Let's talk about Instagram, for example. I don't feel like Instagram unifies anybody. And I think the initial was like, oh, let's get people together and connected. Although we have made connections, obviously, a lot, but I feel like that's kind of shifted. It's more of like a competition now, I feel like.
Yeah. I think it highly, highly depends on each person's perspective and how they view the world.
Yeah.
And so the problem with the internet and these social platforms is that the algorithm is going to feed you what you want to see.
Correct.
So if you are, for example, I hated the internet and any social media platform during the whole political stuff. You know, it's still very much political right now with people sometimes, but I think it's a lot more calmer now. But when the whole Trump and Biden, era and changing of president, I just felt like even families were being divided.
Yeah.
And mainly the internet is to blame, because if you are from one team versus the other, you're constantly reading on whatever political party you belong to. And so the algorithm is constantly going to be feeding you what you want to see. So you're constantly being reassured that the way you think is the correct way to think.
And I actually heard that some platforms were feeding you based on like where you was located, like your, I guess, geographic area.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. What they wanted you to push, but this is not a political.
No, we're just this topic. I definitely don't want to get into politics in this podcast. Politics, religion, I'm not interested. I don't want to debate you on it. I have my political and religious views and I am not going to change them. It's just I'm very respectful with everybody's point of view and I expect everybody to respect my point of view. That's just the way I go about the world.
Agreed.
But so the whole point of this conversation is just how the internet really pushes your point of view to the point where you feel you are superior to everybody else's point of view. Some people, not everybody doesn't take it to that extreme. Yeah. I myself have understood that just because I'm seeing it online or I'm constantly seeing a certain type of feed, that doesn't mean that everybody in the world feels that way.
Yeah.
I understand that the algorithm is trying to please what I want to watch. And so when I hear other people's opinions, I'm not so amazed at how different they might think than I do. I do understand that everybody, even across countries, you know, like the way people live is completely different. Yeah. And so we need to stop thinking like just close ourselves and put ourselves in this bubble where we think everybody must think the way that we do. And I think that's one of the things that's a little scary about all of that is that when people get so obsessed, I guess is a word, with thinking that the way they think is the only way to go.
Yeah.
That's a very dangerous way to think because that's how communism and all these socialism, you know, comes about. You know, I live in America. And one of the things I'm most proud of living here is the fact that we're free and that we're free to think and say what we want.
100%. Yeah, I think we need to be more like open-minded because opinions are just opinions.
Right.
It's not like
not right
or wrong.
Right.
Because sometimes I hate that this kind of all leads back to that time, that era of politics, but it was like you couldn't say anything or agree with anybody because you was wrong. And it's either my way or it's not happening.
Yeah.
There's no way around it.
And it's like we need to learn how to coexist. You know, if you're living here, we're all sharing the same planet. We're all sharing, you know, it's one world. Like we need to learn how to coexist and not have to step on somebody else's toes to feel validated or feel like what you're saying or how you think is the way things should be. I think the key point here is just respect. That's the most important thing when it comes to just living in peace with everybody in this world. Just respecting other people, regardless of whether you agree with them or not. Like, they don't have to agree with you. Just be respectful.
And you also, since we're talking about social media, when you see something you don't like, you don't necessarily have to comment or give your opinion, even though it's your opinion. We just said it's just an opinion. But some things, like sometimes you shouldn't add leña al fuego.
Yeah, you just keep your
don't
poison
add wood
to yourself.
The fire. Yeah.
Keep your poison to yourself. I always say this, and obviously we all have our own opinions, and I see things online all the time that I don't agree with, but I never take time out of my day to write on any post I don't agree with.
Yeah.
Why? Because first of all, that person isn't asking for my opinion. Second of all, if I have nothing nice to say, I just don't say anything at all because I'm a peaceful human being. I don't like to be fighting with people. Yeah. And again, I respect and I understand that not everybody thinks like me. I don't think that is a very complex thing to understand. Like, this is why we're all different. We all come from different places. We all have different backgrounds. We all go through different things in life. Yeah. We're never, if you think that you're going to change the world and everybody is going to think like you at one point, you're delusional because it's never going to happen.
For real. And I feel like even as you become more successful, like less people are going to agree with what you say.
Yeah, unfortunately. I noticed that a lot, and it's very unfortunate. This goes to like another topic kind of, but sometimes when people don't really understand how you got to where you got or why you have the things you do, and maybe they wish they were in your position. They just like the first thing that they go to or the mechanism they use is to just um unvalidate you.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, no, your opinion doesn't even count because you're not one of us.
I mean, like when you think about it, even us growing up, I felt like, obviously now I see the world different, but I always felt like people that were wealthy and successful, like they was born into that. Like there was no way you was starting from the bottom and making it. Like,
Yeah.
like for me, it was something like your family left you money and then you kept growing that money. It was never, I never thought like, oh, this person actually grinded their way to the top.
Yeah.
Because that's, honestly, that's what we were taught.
Well, yeah, a
That,
lot of
oh,
people.
esa familia tiene dinero y por eso es
Right.
que ellos fueron a escuela buena and
Which
stuff like that.
which could be true for some families, for some people that actually can be true, but that's not the reality for everyone.
Yeah.
And yeah. Just again, like being respectful and not trying to unvalidate someone's opinion or feelings because you feel that they're better off than you are or
Yeah.
whatever the case may be. Everybody, no matter what tier in life you're on, I've learned everybody has struggles. No matter whether you have money or not, you have some type of struggle
They're
because
just
nobody,
bigger.
right? Nobody's life is perfect. Picture perfect, that doesn't exist. And even they might not have issues with money, but they might have family problems.
Yeah.
They might have health problems. Like so many other things that isn't just money. Like the world is so complex.
But even when you think about the people with money, like let's say Elon Musk and Bezos, you're like, wow, they're the richest people in this world. Like, yeah, you open a newspaper and it's just drama. There's not one day one of them is not in a newspaper, either being sued or the companies. So it's like that's very stressful for them as well. They have all the money in the world.
That's not such an easy life to live sometimes, you know? That's why I always say, you know, I'm like on this platform and I always tell Babe, I'm like, I don't know if we will ever be big here on YouTube. But sometimes I think to myself and I'm like, I don't really want to be that big. Like, I just want to, I don't know.
You don't want popularity.
I don't really want popularity to the point where I can't live my life like a normal person. Somewhere within myself, I know for some reason I've always had this in me. It's like one of those things that you just know you're born to do. Somewhere within me, I just have always known that I was born to make a difference some way, somehow.
Yeah.
Like, so here we are trying to, you know, because I always feel like when if God gives you something, there's certain things and certain, you know, I haven't had the best life in the world. You know, I wasn't born into money, of course. You guys, if you've been here for a while, you guys know I don't come from money. I still don't have money.
Broke out here.
But I do recognize that my life has been a lot better than a lot of people. And even though I'm not wealthy, I'm wealthy in other things. You know, I was wealthy enough to have love in my life as growing up as a child. I was wealthy enough to believe in myself growing up, to have had a good high school experience where I can look back and remember and have happy memories.
Support system too.
I have a support system. So I recognize that I have things within myself that could help other people that maybe haven't been so fortunate to have those things. And so that's what kind of inspires me to share and to just share my thoughts, because just like somebody randomly, you know, shared something on Babe's Instagram and it kind of changed the trajectory of our life, I know that there's a lot of things that we can share that can potentially change someone else's trajectory in their life and where it's headed.
Yeah, like we mentioned before, like there's a lot of things that we would love to speak about that, you know, we're not experts in, but we've learned through trial and error.
Right.
And it's hard to, for me personally, like I've said before, like it's hard for me to speak on it because I feel like I'm not an expert in it. So I don't want the experts. Mm-hmm. Obviously, that's me thinking like, oh, somebody's going to judge me.
Right.
But there's somebody who's not necessarily beneath me, but is looking for the knowledge that I have.
Like you were one day.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the people that I looked up to were probably where I'm at now. when I started looking at them. And obviously we've all grown because we've got educated, but it's hard to like put it out there.
I want you guys to understand that, like Babe is saying, we aren't experts at anything.
Yeah.
We are literally learning through trial and error, and we are sharing a lot of the things that we believe could help you one way or another. So don't ever take anything that we're saying as it's not black and white.
Yeah.
You know, it's just our opinion at that moment, and maybe in future episodes we might even correct ourselves because we're going to keep evolving as people. And I want you guys to understand this is a safe space. This is not a space for us to be judging each other. This is a space for us to grow as young adults and to just keep grinding and learning and growing with each other. That's it.
Yeah, there was a comment.
I don't ever want to see anybody in the comments judging each other, or, you know, like, nobody here is better than anybody. We're just here to learn as we go. That's exactly why our name is Elevate.
Elevate your life. That's what we want. We want to help you elevate, and while you push us to elevate our life. And there was a comment, I think it was in our last video or in our studio video, that, by the way, if you guys only tune into that podcast, we post other videos, either vlogging certain things we did. For example, now this video, like, we've been vlogging the process of the studio that we created. So, like, you can go tune into those videos if you want to connect with us a little bit more. But there was a comment that she was like, that she loves us because of how, like, real we are and how much we post, like, what's really going on, like, our struggles. Like, we don't just post oh, look, we got a studio out of nowhere.
Right.
And you haven't really seen the process. Like, we've been posting back when we was paying off debt.
Yeah.
And we was eating cup noodle soup.
Yeah.
I think you look at that clip now, you're like, yeah, I really put that out on the internet.
No, I don't really care, honestly. No, I don't. I don't, because that's exactly why I wanted us to document that process, because it's so beautiful to go back in time and just watch your growth.
Yeah.
If there's nothing more that I love more about this YouTube platform that we have than to go back to our videos 2016, 2017 and see where we were at that time. Like, so many things happens in our lives that you don't remember everything. Especially like our kids, to see them so little in those videos, and just the stuff we were going through at that moment, some special stuff, you know. And I want to continue doing that, you know, not just doing these podcasts, but also doing vlogs here and there, because I do want to see our growth as we move on.
Yeah, and as, you know, like we mentioned before, like, I feel like this is an update video, not a podcast, but
we will continue. Yeah.
You know, I want to eventually speak about business when we have our businesses are thriving, and we have so many ideas that we want to start. And, like, I would like to bring everybody along, like, because if you have that idea and don't know where to start, like, you could tune into our episodes and listen.
Yeah, we do it all the time with other YouTubers. Yeah. You know, like, if there's anybody who's doing something similar to what we would like to do, like, we're always like looking.
I binge watch.
Yeah, looking for like knowledge from other people who've done it first, because why not? You know, it's like, why would you want to go through something and not tune into somebody else who's providing knowledge as they go through it? Like, they save you so much time. If there's nothing that's more of a blessing in this time than being able to go on YouTube and search up these topics and other people share their experiences with you. Like Gary Vee says, there's never been a better time to be alive.
Yeah. And, like, even Think Media, we've mentioned it before, like, they always saying how, like, this is the time for you to post content. And again, if you're not a content creator, this doesn't apply to you.
Yeah.
But
if you want to be in that world, this is definitely.
Yeah. It's just, there's so many opportunities nowadays. Like, they've spoke about the amount of money that you can make now. Like, things are changing so fast. Like, even 5 years ago, there was not a lot of people doing this.
No.
Like, this is something, like, you will see on TV technically, like, or tune into a specific channel that it was doing. Like, you wouldn't see, like, a regular couple that went from the Bronx to Yonkers, like, technically streaming to the freaking world.
Yeah. It's pretty amazing. It's pretty amazing.
And it's free. Like Gary Vee says it. Like it's literally free. If you're planning to start a business and you're not taking advantage of this, like you don't have to pay to be on Instagram. You don't have to pay to be on Facebook, YouTube, TikTok. Like you're streaming to millions or billions of people. Facebook has like 2 billion active users for free. Like
Yeah.
back in the days, you know how much money that will cost for a company to put on a newspaper or a TV ad?
Lots of money.
Come on.
Yeah, it's really, really insane. And again, I don't want to overwhelm people who maybe don't want to be creators. Like everybody doesn't have to be this, just like everybody doesn't have to be a doctor or a lawyer or a firefighter. Okay. Like these are different careers. But for creators, you know, if you haven't taken the leap of faith, I don't know what you're waiting for.
And it's not easy. Like you guys see this, like it's not easy. It will be long nights. It'll be stressful. You'll have blackouts. The money is not like you see these big time people doing it. But if you stay consistent, then the money should come. Like anything you stay consistent on, any business you open, if you do it right and you dedicate your time to it, the money will eventually come if you have the right product.
Yes. But back to the topic, because, you know, we kind of shifted there for a second.
This is what we do.
You know how we always speaking our mind over here with you guys. But yeah, the internet, how is the internet dividing us instead of unifying us? So conclusion for me, the algorithm is to blame, y'all. The algorithm is to blame. Let's stop fighting within each other. I hate it. When I see it, I literally like log off. I can't deal with it. It bothers me so much that even between families, friends, friendships are lost because of some of these topics. And you also need to be very conscious yourself as a person, as an individual, that what you're saying is respectful.
Yeah.
Before you speak, I feel like this is very, very important. Before you speak, think very clearly what you're going to say. And if what you're going to say, if somebody was to say it to you and you would get offended, don't say anything. Yeah. Like this whole thing of, you know, there's certain people that are like, I don't have any filter, blah, 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 blah. That has consequences. You know, like you can't just go through the world. My opinion, sorry if I'm offending you by saying this, but in my opinion, you can't just go through the world without any filter. Because especially because a lot of the people who say that, they can't even take criticism.
Yeah.
That's
the problem, though.
You're the first one who can't take a person talking mean to you, but you have no filter.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's just who I am. No. That's not who anybody is. First of all, that's definitely something that you can work on. Just be respectful. If you're going to say something that you know would hurt your feelings if someone was to say it to you, you don't say it to that person respectfully. Just be quiet.
Agreed. And two, if you have that much time to just be on the internet arguing with people in the comment section, you need to like take a look in the mirror and be like, why do I have all this time?
For sure. Because one thing is for certain. If you're a happy person, if you like your life overall, not that your life is perfect and you're happy and bubbly every day. No. If you're overall happy with your life and where you're standing, you will not be doing that.
Yeah.
You
There's
really
no time
won't.
for it. You realize how much there is no time for it.
Absolutely. Even though there are some people who just enjoy gossip.
Yeah.
But that's another
If you
topic
do
for
that
another
shit
day.
24/7, it's like, come on.
Honestly, babe, honestly speaking, there's some people who live up. I feel like there's some people who it feeds their soul to gossip.
All right, then start a gossip YouTube channel and make money off of it.
Do something, right?
Don't just be in your house again.
But I guess the gossip channels need to have an audience. Anyways, you know what? That's not our problem, you guys. Whoever's here, you're probably, you know what we're talking about. We're trying to be positive. We're trying to make positive impacts in the world. We're not trying to be. I understand that once in a while, we gossip about something that's going on. Oh my God, did you hear? That's normal.
We have to, man.
That's normal.
The almighty algorithm.
But, you know, to constantly just be focusing on gossiping and on fighting with other people, that's toxic. That's literally toxic. You need to stop. And work on yourself. Like, do something that's a lot more productive. Do something that will make you happy. I don't know, you haven't done anything with your life. You're not happy with where you are. Think about, oh my God, what would I want to do? And start working on how you can do whatever it is that makes you happy. There's just so much more to life than just gossiping and fighting with other people. That drains me. It drains the hell out of me. I can't stand it.
For real.
All right, guys, that's it for today's episode. If you guys are listening, thank you so much for listening. Don't forget to leave your reviews. If you guys are watching, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to hit the like, leave your comments down below. Share these podcasts with other people who you think might be interested in listening. Don't forget to hit the bell so you can be notified every time we post a video. And that's it for today's podcast. Thank you so much for listening or watching. Until next time.
Peace.